damit willkommen zurück zu Genshin Impact 4.0. Damit haben wir endlich Fontaine gesehen. Ist die letzte Version hat jetzt ein bisschen was gefehlt. Aufnahme ist mir leider verloren gegangen. Das Problem, aber jetzt geht's weiter. Ich kann ich wieder holen. Daher willkommen in Fontaine oder willkommen zur Fontaine Story.
The first time we came here. Oh, Paimon remembers. Nahida's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her.
Das ist ein gutes Gedächtnis, Paimon.
So much time has already passed since then, and it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahida's in charge, right? Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahida won't have any more new problems to deal with.
Solange wir noch in der Gegend sind.
Yeah, guess you're right. We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble.
Ich dachte, du wärst Magnet.
She was super tired. Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out. Anyway, for Nahida's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Zeit nach Fontaine aufzubrechen.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business. Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were you two talking about anyway?
Wir werden Sumeru bald verlassen und uns auf den Weg nach Fontaine machen.
Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. But you are travelers after all. I guess you'd never stay for too long in one place. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. I'm starting to feel sad just thinking about it. Hey, how about I gather a few mercs to escort you two? What do you say?
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much. But don't worry, we'll come back to see everyone when we get a chance.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two, I'm sure it won't be anything you can't handle. So, when are you leaving?
Genau jetzt.
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made?
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going-away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahida?
Ich hatte auch in Träumen von unserer Abreise erfahren, oder?
Oh, good point. Then there's no need to bother her in the real world.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Wir sehen uns, der.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
Und wir haben den ersten Aussichtspunkt. Das sieht aber auch schick aus, aber das liegt relativ hoch.
Follow the wind.
Und vor allem gibt es da für uns Boote. Ja, da gibt es Boote. Das ist ein Bootspunkt. Sehr schön. Ja.
Follow the wind.
Ach, unsere Freunde die Schildkröten. Nach Kisten und sowas werden wir auf jeden Fall später suchen. Das denken wir ja im Stream. Mann, muss das rauschen. Den könnte ich jetzt nicht einfach so stehen lassen. Düt, düt. Ich hab bitte Einlass. Hey, ich will rein. Muss ich... Die Musik ist angenehm.
One more story to add to my collection.
Hallo, Wind und Wellen sind heute ruhig und auch wenn das nicht gerade der Stoff aus den Geschichten gesponnen werden soll, ist doch eine sichere Seefahrt kein Abbruch. Geschichten. Der Hafen ist nicht nur ein Ort, an dem sich Wasser und Schiffe kreuzen. Es wimmelt immer von Touristen, Geschäftsleuten und Selbstdehnen aus der Wüste, aus dem Regenwald, die es lieben, ihre nassen Bücher zu versenken. Viele sprechen gerne mit mir, die zum ersten Mal eine Melusine treffen. Dank euch allen habe ich viele Geschichten für jenseits dieses Gewässers gehört. Hier arbeiten zu können ist wirklich großartig. Eine Melusine also. Ein Tierwesen ist das definitiv. Eine Melusine? Der Begriff Melusine sagt mir gar nichts. Du gefällst mir nicht. Na, Matrose? Wie komme ich denn hier hoch? Moment, das ist eine Treppe. Auf zur oberen Ebene. Und mein Schiff? Was ist mit meinem Schiff? Das ist euch wohl nicht gut genug. Mein Schiff ist dir nicht gut genug.
There are
Oh,
leaves
ein
around,
Oculus.
and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish
Ah.
to hear it.
Noch eine Melodie, ne? Kann das sein, dass der Oculus...
Into the wind.
Ich würde es halt nicht wundern, wenn der komplett da oben ist.
One with nature.
Ja. Die sieht schon schick aus. Wenn ich das so gucke, geht's überhaupt voran? Oh, es geht voran. Ich habe mich scheinbar getäuscht. Okay, ist mir jetzt total egal, dass ich mich getäuscht habe. Der Anblick ist schon herrlich. Dafür hat sich's gelohnt. Irgendwie sehen ein Stück hier vom Strand. Wir haben ja auch eine kleine Erneuerung wegen den Maps hier. Man sieht jetzt, wie die Wege sind. Das auch in verschiedenen Höhen. Das ist relativ angenehm. Und ja, ich habe ein bisschen Harz. Daran kann ich nicht gedacht. Hieronimo. Ist der doch hier irgendwo?
Time to go.
Ich erwarte schwere Sachen und was passiert? Ja. Aber erstmal denken wir, offen steht die Welt, wenn Edelmut dein Herz erhält. Die erste Bahnstrecke, würde ich mal einfach sagen. Kaiser von Feuer und Eisen. Das ist eine Schlucht, wie es aussieht. Westhänge von Mont. Was? Outminqui? Keine Ahnung, wie was. Häusern. Das Ende der Sünde. Auf jeden Fall neue Artefakte. Goldtruppe. Unter. Mit die Standardenkräfte von heftigen Schlägen. Erhöht. Wird beim Erhöhen der Verringern der aktuellen P Kritte von 12. Weniger. Wir werden verletzt, wir kriegen Crit. Klingt doch gar nicht mehr schlecht. Hä, die Statue der Sieben gerade plötzlich hell erstrahlt? Seltsam. Ist das früher schon einmal passiert? Es ist doch normal, dass die Statue der Sieben strahlt. Ey, da fühlst du dich etwas komisch. Ey, das Wasser, es spricht zu mir. Jetzt kann es auch noch sprechen, wenn du immer noch scherzend aufgelegt bist. Ist ja alles gut. Jedenfalls ist die Luft wirklich etwas schwül geworden, nachdem das Licht aufgeblitzt ist. Vielleicht liegt es ja an den hervorgetretenen Hydrokraft. Hey, Paimon hat gehört, dass man Fontaine unbeschwert tauchen kann, wenn man Elementarkräfte gut beherrscht. Vielleicht kann man sogar untergegangene Schätze bergen. Das Bergen der Schätze ist deine Aufgabe. Und Paimon hält dir von dem Strand aus den Rücken frei. Allein im Wasser, das ist doch recht einsam. Oh, es ist so unheimlich unter Wasser. Man könnte aus Versehen von einer Ströme erfasst und durcheinandergewirbelt werden, ohne davon fliegen zu können. Genau wie damals, als man dich im Munster traf. Dann angle ich dich besser wieder raus. Wirklich, na dann kann Palmer auch mit dir ins Wasser gehen. Ah, aber du musst ein Versprechen auch halten. Segen von Fontaine. Einführung zum Spiel. Wir können jetzt tauchen. Eine wundersame Kraft, die von der Statue ausgeht und dir den Segen der transozeanischen Urwassers verleiht. Damit kannst du ungehindert durch Gewässer der Seen und Fontaines reisen. Oder den Schutz transozeaner Unterwasser brauchst du bei der Bewegung unter Wasser keine Ausdauer, sondern Wasserausdauer. Wenn sie dir Wasser so ausgeht, wirst du also nicht ertrinken und unmächtig werden. Nicht? Und seit dem Update haben wir einen Charakterauswahl, also einen neuen Charakterhintergrund. Und das ist je nach Gebiet auch verschieden. Ich würde sagen Wasser und Fontaine. Und wir müssen ja...
Just what will we come across this time?
Wir müssen uns ja noch einstimmen. Statue anbeten, Einklang mit der Hydrokraft. Land der schönen Quellen. Wir können Wasser schießen. Und wir können sogar direkt mal anbeten. Ich meinte. Mal gucken. Hydrospiegel, Schlüssel zu den Schreinen der Tiefe in Fontaine. Ja, sind nur noch 2, aber ist halt das Übliche. Oh nee. Ja. Untersuchen. Auf dieser Route. Hallo, werter Passagier, kann ich dir helfen? Wann fahren wir ab? Ach ja, es ist bereits Zeit aufzubrechen.
Welcome to the Clementine Line Aquabus. This boat tour will take you to the magnificent court of Fontaine, the most important city in our nation. I'm Ava, and I'll be your tour guide for this trip. Even though I'm not as reliable as Elfan for the Navia line, I'll still do my very best. And if you're dissatisfied with anything, feel free to let me know right away. Oh, wait a sec. It's, please contact a staff member with your feedback after reaching the station, and we will address your concerns as soon as possible. Back on topic. The destination of this trip will be the court of Fontaine. If you'd like to learn more about the latest technological developments in Fontaine, the hottest new trends in cuisine, or upcoming sensational trials, please subscribe to the Steam Bird.
Jetzt können wir die Fahrt genießen.
The Steambird runs lots of fantastic serialized novels, including the thriller Great Detective Herlock, which recently reached its dramatic conclusion. Right at the very end, Herlock faces off against the real mastermind, revealed to be the assistant, Miss Jacoba, in a duel at the old site of Lilia Cruces Ordo. I couldn't stop my feelers from shaking. Oh no, did I spoil it for you? Oops. Anyway, coming up ahead on your left-hand side is Mercy Village, the hometown of all Melazines, myself included. It's deep in the ground just over there. We will now pass through Poisson Tunnel. Now that I think about it, very few people tend to take this line. Maybe it's because humans don't really like deserts. After all, the most popular route in and out of Fontaine is through the New Vale. I've heard that places with lots of sand, even walk deserts are not options. No rational person trying to cross that hot, dry to get to Fontaine, right? Sorry, I seem to find that the universe.
Na, was kannst du uns denn noch so verraten? Also in dieser Methode durch die Gegend zu reisen, finde ich super angenehm.
Looking ahead on your right-hand side, you'll see Aranias, where the Opera Epiclese is located. Do you see that really tall structure? I once asked Elfan, what's that big old thing? She said, no clue. What's the use of learning the meaning of things? But anyway, Elfan is a super amazing and super friendly Melazine. If you have a chance, you really should take the Navia line and listen to her tour. Behind me is the destination of our tour, the magnificent court of Fontaine. Please take all of your personal belongings with you when you disembark.
I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Einfach zurücklehnen und genießen die Fahrt. Ist ja wirklich so.
Oh no, I almost forgot. had an incident-free journey today, and it was my pleasure to serve as your tour guide for this trip. Thank you.
Danke, ja. Danke für den schönen Trip. Willkommen in Fontaine. Ja. Ich hätte jetzt gesagt, das dreht sich vielleicht, aber... Hallo, werte Person, kann ich dir helfen? Wiedersehen. Muss ich hier auch noch über die... Ja, muss ich einfach rüber. Schweinerei. Auf zur nächsten Fahrt. Komm schon. Oh no. Ich mag die Fahrten. Auch Oma mag die Fahrten. Dann gehen wir mal weiter. Scheinbar sollen wir hier nach oben. Oder nach unten, ich weiß es nicht. Keine Ahnung, wo der Hafen ist. Momentan. Ich habe irgendwie was verpasst. Aber hier ist eine Statue. Aber wenn ich nicht weiß, wo. Ach, da. Was für ein edler Pudel. Und die Quest. Gucci. Offen. Wenn hätte ich Hof von Fontaine. Noch nicht angenommen. Doch, haben wir. Inzwischen schon. Achso, die Quest. Ja, gut. Also das sind relativ viele Teleportpunkte. Eiswindsuit. Okay. Auf jeden Fall der zweite Boss, der neu ist. Da haben wir ja nur noch... Ja. Das hier. Da ist die Abenteuergilde, aber da ist noch ein Teleportpunkt. Ja, das ist ein Teleportpunkt. Wenn ich jetzt wüsste, wie und wo und fallen. Was? Eine Makotte? Leute, ich habe keine Ahnung. Dahin möchte ich gerne. Und da hinten ist noch ein Oko. Da ist ein Oculus, verdammt. Ähm,
Time to go.
was? Ui. Usia Energieblock? Energieblöcke, die sowohl auf natürliche als auch auf künstliche Weise erzeugt werden, unterteilt in neue Quise-Blöcke. Sobald du ein Energieblöcke gesammelt hast, wird beim Treffen durch den nächsten Startangriff heftigen Schlag oder Angriff aus dem Fall gegen die Gespalter freigesetzt. Dies ist praktisch, wenn du etwa wie Fontaine erkundest. Mit Hilfe der Energie können Figuren sich die Kraft von Usia und Pneuna zunutze machen, selbst unter Wasser. Die meisten Figuren aus Fontaine verfügen über Arke, mit der sie die Kraft eines entsprechenden Typs unter Wasser entfesseln können, ohne dabei bei neue Musia Energieblöcke einsetzen zu müssen. Okay, ich habe keine
This
Ahnung.
scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Wind strider.
Kondenskristall. Okay. Klingt nach einem neuen Erz. Glaube, würde ich dann doch mal gern wissen, was das ist. Moment. Moment.
Shine down!
Wind strider.
Böses Freundchen.
Time to go.
Ich wollte doch eigentlich nur... Kann das sein? Ich habe jetzt einfach mal so richtig gelegen, dass man die hiermit zerstören muss. Ich würde mal sagen, jupp. Ohne dass ich eine Ahnung habe, habe ich da was richtig gemacht. Aber ich nehme den halt eh nicht.
What's our objective?
Und ein Zweihänder ist mir gerade lieber hier. Und eigentlich wollte ich Story machen. Aber wenn wir hier schon mal sind...
Time to go.
Da unten. Na dann.
Follow the wind.
Und wie könnte es anders sein?
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Es ist eine Freude, dich wiederzugehen, Catherine. Hallo, ich bin erfreut, dich zu sehen. Ich bin Catherine, die Empfangsdame von der Abenteuergilde. Ich verteile Missionsaufträge an die Abenteuer und biete ihnen Informationsdienst. Ich hoffe, dass meine Dienste hilfreich für dich sind und wünsche dir einen unvergesslichen Aufenthalt in Fontaine.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Bist du auch eine Uhrwerkpuppe, Catherine? Hey, bin ich das? Wirke ich auf manche wie ein Meisterwerk der Forschungsinstituts Fontaine?
Ad Astra.
Dailies haben wir ja schon gemacht und ansonsten... Aber wir haben es schon mal, den Ort. Das ist schon angenehm. Weil hier werden wir dann doch öfters noch sein. Gott, gibt's hier viel zum Umschauen. Inhaber der Guerille d'Amourville. Brauchst du etwas? Frag einfach. Ich habe die nötigen Kanäle, um dir jeden noch kleinen Herzenwunsch zu erfüllen. Keine Sorge, hier gibt es nichts, was es nicht gibt. So gemischt waren. Fermentierter Saft. Nehmen wir. Kahle Bohnen haben auch nicht sehr viel. Und ansonsten Milch kann man immer gebrauchen. Also Fonta? Fonta. Eine erfrischende Fonta. Macht deine Welt frisch. Ich hätte gerne Fonta. Eine Fonta. Erstmal eine Fanta. Eine Fonta.
Every scent tells a story.
Aber wir gehen jetzt dann doch mal schnell zurück, weil irgendwie haben wir ja hier unten wahrscheinlich echt aus Versehen. War jetzt nicht so geplant, dass ich das vergesse. Gar nicht. Muss ich mich ein bisschen schämen. Aber irgendwie habe ich die Gegend genossen.
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port!
Einfach nur schick.
Wow! Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine! Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines!
Es ist beeindruckender, als ich es mir vorgestellt habe.
Seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think?
Besuchen wir als erstes den Hydroakon.
Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point.
Wir machen diese Reise, um meine Schwester zu finden.
Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his story is quite the tearjerker.
Excuse me. Can I help you two? I couldn't help but notice you standing here listening.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but you seem to be really busy talking about some kind of play, so we didn't want to interrupt.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened. In fact, it's a case that was just heard a few days ago.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the way you were talking about it and the words you used just now made it sound like some kind of story.
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberately putting on an act while harboring ulterior motives. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough. Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
Also werden die Verhandlungen als eine Art Oper betrachtet.
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more seriously than that? Not to question Fontaine's way of doing things. It's just that putting someone on trial is usually a very serious thing.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want to waste the moving stories behind those cases. And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable Chief Justice Neuvillette, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Eine von den Göttinnen des Wassers erschaffene gerichtliche Vorrichtung.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine too? Oh, Paimon's curious. We should check it out if we get the chance. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question. Do you know what we should do if we want to meet the Hydro Archon?
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance, and it'll depend on whether or not she has any time slots available.
Im Voraus anmelden.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff? Wait, didn't you say that she's always at the Opera House?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about. You should show some more respect.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise, I might get arrested and find myself face to face with Monsieur Neuvillette.
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful about the Hydro Archon.
Dennoch scheint es ihnen ein wenig an Ehrfurcht zu fehlen.
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Guess we could have a look around the city in the meantime. Hey! What are you looking over there for?
Das Mädchen dort drüben.
Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her.
Springen! Springen, verdammt! Springen, solange es noch geht.
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks.
Oh, okay then. We just noticed that you seem to be worried about something.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
Your pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Seid ihr diese besonderen Wasserwesen aus Fontaine?
No people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
Sorry. Paimon doesn't really get what you mean.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you are?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
Du bist ja die ganze Zeit für mich, Paimon.
So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon. We are quite similar.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories, and that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about what's happening in Fontaine now.
Es geht in Vorsicht.
Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Hallo, Lin.
And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon, are you?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove useful.
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro-Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me.
Na, immer doch. Unser Boot.
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
looking for her.
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and his companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
Einige scheint ein Glas zu halten.
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Nun, den Akkund zu finden war diesmal echt einfach. Oh ja.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like we've only been here for a few minutes. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, how should Paimon describe it? A little over the top? Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre and the excellent. I suppose it's only natural for you to be awestruck by my abilities. You had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my finger for me to know everything about you.
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Und betont ihren Status als Akkund sehr gern.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice before?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina? Is there some kind of drama going on?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to personally see him. Oh, I bet this is going to be the duel of the century.
Oh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never disappoint.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy, and despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their ruckus. You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Ein Duell?
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Zeig mir, was du kannst.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
Na und? Wir haben schon andere Akrone besiegt.
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Natürlich.
Stand down, Clarend. I admire his bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. He is obviously a true warrior. Unfortunately, people nowadays only crave to be thrilled, and a mere duel will not slake their thirst for excitement.
Oh, yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that interesting.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. You're getting a bit old, to tell the truth.
You see, then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
Whoa, all right! Now that'll be worth seeing!
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. With such a grand opera house, it would be a pity not to use it.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time in the opera house. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Wir sind gerade erst hier angekommen.
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
Offensichtlich. Wüsste ich jetzt nicht.
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law, no?
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's Our Lady Farina. No one knows the laws of Fontaine like she does.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait, flying object? You mean Paimon?
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the Hydro Archon, I order your arrest.
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun, but if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
You tell her, Linny! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying object?
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object, but how exactly do you plan to prove your claim?
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Ta-da! What's that on Paimon's back?
Hey, when did you do that?
In dem Moment als...
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good. Nice one.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold water.
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands. I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House, Mr. Linny and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
That's,
And just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. He never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
vielen Dank für vorhin, Linné.
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Das war gerade ziemlich verwirrend.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss to forego this opportunity gifted by fate. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Das war mir ein großes Vergnügen.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? I'll show you the way. I just have something to take care of first.
Zögere nicht, mir Bescheid zu geben, wenn du Hilfe brauchst.
You really mean it? Then I'll take you up on your offer. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Eine einfache Tasche.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that. You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin? What?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
Das Meer überflutet nach und nach diese Erinnerung.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have astonishing capacity. I'm sure they will come in handy when people are moving their belongings.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy day! But this is more than a bit of rain.
Lässt sich die Katastrophe wirklich nicht abwenden?
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. But who knows? We're just tiny specks in the grand scheme of things. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone nearby. Be sure to convince them to take it, regardless of what they say.